Now for the show that's truly too hot to handle. It's The Melting Pat, and it starts right now.
You're listening to The Melting Pat. Here's your host, Pat Johnson.
Well, thank you, Jerome. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the show, The Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. How are you? All right? You good? You great? Good, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. You know the drill. How are you? Hope you're okay. I'm all right. You know, things are happening. Things are going on. So we'll figure it out. We'll be fine. I don't have a ton of time to dilly-dally today. So sorry you don't get a big intro, but we're doing our best over here, okay? All right. We have a song from our friends, our dear friends of the show, and then a story, actually two little stories connected with the song. We have a question about TV continuity errors. If you submitted one on Thursday, I didn't see it because I finalized all that stuff by Wednesday, and because I thought I was going to record yesterday, and then I did not. So, might be. We're doing all right, though. It's Thursday for me, by the way, just so you know, so you have a little context. All right? All right, so we have that. We got some mail about whether or not I would start a subreddit, so we'll talk about that. And baseball playoffs, as we sit here on, again, Thursday, and the first Flyers update of the season from the captain. It is in my inbox right now. I've not gotten to it yet, but by the time we're all said and done, you'll hear the thing. You get it. All right? All right. Hope you're well. Hope everything's going great. And I hope that, you're having fun doing whatever it is that you do. So we have a song today from our dear friends, Lost in a Name, and we do have a story, two little stories about this song coming next. But the song is very much not safe for work, FYI. And it's right off the bat. You're going to hear why I said that. And I think they're lostinaname.com. Let me see. I'm going to type it in right now. It is. Have they updated this since, 5 years ago? I don't know. But that's where you find their stuff. And that's where you see all the things and let them know. All right? All right. Great. Lostinaname.com. The song is, it's their latest original. They did a cover, but I don't think the podcasting laws will let me play a cover. So their latest original is called Villain's Heart. And once again, that's Villain's Heart, by the way. And once again, it is very much not safe for work. I think you're going to love it. I think you will. If you listen with your kids, hi kids, earplugs for 4 minutes, and that'll be fine. Earmuffs, plugs, whatever you got to do, everything will be fine. All right, here we go. Lost in a Name, Villain's Heart. It's the Melting Pat. We're coming right back.
Fuck you for thinking so little of me. Fuck you for lying from the start. Fuck you the way you fucked me over. You're a fucking shark. You got a villain's heart. Who will he see coming down the aisle? Are your secrets hidden wall? You pretend to show a loving smile. Does he know you like I do? Or are you hiding that from him too? Or is he just as fucking dirty as you? Fuck you for thinking so little of me. Fuck you for lying from the start. Fuck you the way you fucked me over. You're a fucking shark. You got a villain's heart. I hope your second love's worse and it fails like the first. But the roles are reversed. You get spit out and used, made to feel like a fool, like I did by you. Fuck you for thinking so little of me. Fuck you for lying from the start. Fuck you the way you fucked me over. You're a fucking shark. You got a villain's heart. Fuck you for never giving me closure. Fuck you, I found out anyway. Fuck you never have to see you again someday. But if by terrible luck I have to see your face, I'll look at you, and here's what I'll say. Fuck you for everything. Fuck you for lying from the start. Fuck you the way you fucked me over. You're a fucking shark, you got a villain's heart. Fuck you for never giving me closure. Fuck you, I found out anyway. Fuck you the way you fucked me over. You're a fucking shark, you got a villain's heart. You're sociopathic, deranged, but you're masking like a fucking shark with a villain's heart.
And there you have it, our friends, Lost in a Name with their latest original, Villain's Heart, the Melting Pat, the Next Level Network. Should have backed away from the microphone before I went boom, but I didn't, and now you get that. So sorry if I clipped out your ears there. My bad. That was really fun to do, by the way. LostInAName.com for more from them. Tell them I sent you, and they'll go, that guy? Yeah, that guy, or whatever they would say. So I have a little anecdote about the song, and then I will tell you about the time I met Danny Schmitz last week. So I was, when the song first came out, we were talking. So Danny and I text all the time. We became friends through the show, probably 2017, 2016. And we've been buddies since then. He produced my album, both of them, both little EPs. He's been on the show a number of times. It's great. He bullies his way on, and we have a great time. So he sent me the song in whenever it came out, March, April, and said, yeah. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll play it on the show, absolutely. But do you want me to wait until you can come on the show and talk about it? Because it's about some real stuff. And like, I know the story, a little bit of it. And so I was like, hey, if you want to talk about it on the show, absolutely. Come on, let's do it. We'll play the song. And then it didn't work out. Scheduling it just doesn't come together because that's just how it goes. And so I decided, hey, we met in person for the first time last week. And I said, hey, I'll play the song and then I'll tell the story of us hanging out, whatever. And people might like that. But the story I want to tell you about the song. So he sent me the song in, March, April, whenever it came out or when it was due to come out because I was going to play it. And then, all right. So I'm listening to it. I got my earbuds in. I'm walking to the doctor's office. And the doctor's like a mile and a half away. And so I'm walking along a very busy road. And I get there. And, there are sidewalks. So I'm on the sidewalk. And I'm crossing. I got a couple blocks to go. And there are some guys doing some work. Some workers doing some whatever their maintenance they're doing with the water lines or the gas lines or whatever. So they're in the sidewalk. And so they've got all that dug up. They've got like the pieces out and they're in there. So I can't pass there. And so they're right at the curb. So I'm like, God damn it. So my choices are I either go to the right and go around the block and come back around and maybe be late. And I don't want to be late because I don't like being late for stuff if I can avoid it. Or I go real quick, like cross into the street for like 3 steps and then get back up onto the sidewalk, past the guys and be fine. So I decided to go off to the left and go into the street for literally 3 steps. It's like 2.5 feet, not even, whatever. However long it takes me however far it is for me to take 3 or 4 steps. And I kind of had an idea when the bus was going to come because I looked it up before I left and like, oh, if I take that, like I'm not going to get there any quicker if I take the bus versus walk. So I'm like, okay, we get there about the same time. And most of that time would be standing around waiting. So this was before my wife got a car. So I'm like, all right, we're going to go into the road there and then, real quick run back up. So I go down there and I can hear the bus coming. And I know that there's a stop like 2 blocks behind me. And it's a pretty popular stop. So I'm like, okay. I look back, I saw some people there, and I'm like, okay, this will be fine. Like, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to 3 steps into the street and then back up. And wouldn't you know it, I get down into the street, because it's like a little incline, or decline, I suppose, from the sidewalk to the street. So I step down, and I'm in the street literally 3 steps. and the bus comes right behind me. I nearly get clipped. I could feel it. I could feel the bus right as the song says like F you for what is it, never thinking of me, whatever the lyric is, like right at the hook of the song where Danny is screaming. And I'm like, man, that's like, it would have been terrible if I would have gotten hit by a bus, obviously. But it's funnier that I almost got hit by a bus and the lyric was like, that's, to me, like the timing could not have been funnier for me. So I texted him like, hey, I was listening to your song. Number one, it's great. Number two, I almost got hit by a bus while listening to it right at the chorus part. And he's like, dude, are you okay? And then it was like, oh, damn, that's actually awesome. So there you go. There's my little anecdote that took way too long on Villain's Heart for You. And the second thing about Lost in a Name, the reason we're playing a song that came out 6 months ago, is because the other day I met Danny Schmitz in person. I met a guest, a good friend of the show, and now who's become a good friend in real life. We met the other day. So he goes on tour with different bands, and he was doing a run with a band, and they were in New Jersey. And this is not the first time he has texted me, by the way, and said, hey, I'm here. Is that close to you? And other times he was like an hour and a half away. But this time I look up on the map, and he's like 25 minutes away. And so I go up to the missus. Hey, do you want to go do this? There's a mall nearby. We could do that. And she's like, no, I got to go out the next day. So she's like, but you go and like you Uber there or whatever. And then like you go have fun. I'm like, okay, great. So I'm like, hey, we could do this. Let's go. Like we'll meet there. We'll go to the mall. We'll have dinner, whatever. We'll hang out. And then he's like, hey, why don't we just have dinner at the hotel restaurant and just hang out there? Because I'm tired. And I'm like, that's perfect. It would have been a lot more work to do the mall thing. So I get there. So first of all, I have a Lyft gift card that somebody got us for Christmas a couple years ago. And I'm like, okay, great. Let's use this. So I'm waiting. I booked the Lyft. I put on the card in my account there. It's like $25, which would have made the ride like $3, which I learned on the way back because on the way there, I had to Uber because Lyft, 5 drivers canceled the trip. So they're like, okay, we're getting a new driver. Okay. Oh, sorry. They canceled the trip. We're going to find you a new driver. Okay, great. Thanks. And that happened 5 times. So then I was like, all right, let's try Uber. I know I'll pay more money, but let's try Uber. So I get over there. We make it happen. And Danny Schmitz, I got to say, is shorter in person. He's much shorter in person than I thought he would be. So it was great, man. We just hung out. Like, we talk often enough where, like, we know what's going on in each other's lives. But just this, like, it's weird, right? Like, you make a lot of friends through the internet now, which that's, I could not have sounded older and more feeble with that sentence. But, like, I have a lot of online friends who I can, like, also talk to outside of the other things, right? And so to meet one of them in person, to be like, yeah, I know you're a real person. Like, we know that each other exists in real bodies in the world, but it's still kind of like, where are we going with this, Pat? It's still kind of like, whoa, you're just a dude. You're just a dude in real life, just like me. And just being able to, like, it was kind of weird sitting across from him in a good way. Sitting across the table from him and be like, hey, like, we met via the internet 8 years ago, and now here we are, like, in real life, having a conversation and having dinner and crapping open a couple of cold ones. And so it was really great to do that. And it was just fun. Like, he's sharing stories about the road. I'm sharing stories about, dad life and whatnot. And just kind of going, just hanging out, man. And it's something I don't get to do that often. And I'm glad that finally we were able to make it happen after several missed connections and an almost missed connection because I couldn't get a goddamn ride over there. Oh, man. Yeah, it was good, though. We had a really good time. I did anyway. Let me not speak for him. But we had a good time just hanging out, chilling. He had an off day. So he's like, it'd be great to hang out. And if not, then whatever, we'll find something else. But I imagine on tour, when you have an off day, it's like sitting by yourself in the hotel's got to get kind of boring. And so, yeah, you want to kind of spice it up and do some other things. And so we got to do that. So it was great. It was really great. Getting to hang out, and we are going to work out him coming back on the show probably in November, December. I guess we got to wait for them to put out a new song now. Because, come on, man, it's been like 6 months. What are you doing? So, because we just played one. So now we got to get a new one. So I don't know, again, the rules about me playing covers. I know they got a couple out. I don't think I'm allowed to play those, but go check those out as well. And if you go to a show and he's running the table there, the merch table, or if he's playing the show or whatever he's doing, go say hello and tell him you listen to the show. And he'll be like, that guy? Hell yeah. He's the only one I think will be excited that you know him through me. Yeah, I think everybody else would be like, really, that guy? All right. But he'd be excited, I think. Wait, are they on tour? Soon. They're on tour like soon, like this week. Hold on. Lost the name. Let's do this. We'll do this the right way here. October 21, they're at, let's see, Keg Grove Brewing Company in Bloomington, Illinois. Is that a thing? Is that real? Is this year? Hold on there, Schmitz. Oh, let's see. Well, I'm just trying to see if the website's up to date. Let me see. Hold on. All right. Well, according to their website, they're in Illinois on the 21st, and on the 28th of October, they're at Rockin' Brews in Milwaukee. So there you go. 2 shows coming up. I don't know. Is that current? I have no idea. But, hey, that's not on me. That's on them for not getting that current. There you go. We wouldn't be buddies if I couldn't take a shot at him right at the end. No, it was fantastic to meet you, Danny. I had a great time. And good call saying, hey, let's not do the mall. Let's do the dinner at the restaurant instead. Because that worked out better for both of us, I would think. Right? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, meeting. If anybody else is around, any other guests of the show, you want to hang out and have dinner, let me know. We can make it happen. It'd be great. It'd be more awkward, I think. We can make it awkward, right? We can make it awkward enough where we each have a story to tell when we're done, and then we can enjoy like the other parts of the evening, right? Pat, what are you doing? I don't know. I keep getting things in my ears, some ringings in my ears for work stuff, and I don't want to do it because I like talking to you more. So there we go. Thank you, Danny Schmitz, for hanging out and for getting the bill. That's great. Good stuff. Did I need to tell you that? Probably not. But anyway, lostinaname.com for more things. All right? Oh, boy. All right, let's take a break. I will check on those work things. We'll come back, and we will do TV continuity errors right after this. Okay, we're back. We made a little change to the order of things. We were going to do the question first, but then I decided, no, we'll save that. I don't know. Is this going to make a difference? Probably not, but it's fine. All right. So I got some mail the other day. Not real mail. Oh, that would be cool. But then you'd have to know my address because I don't want to pay. Listen. A lot of these services that other people use for their shows and people send them things or what have you, like they're great and it'd be awesome, but it's not practical. Like I don't make money from this. Join the Patreon. Maybe I can if enough of you sign up, and then I can get a P.O. box and then you can send me things. But until then, tmpfanmail@gmail.com or the best way, again, the contact page at themeltingpat.com is how you do that. All right. So we got a question from one of you. Did we get a name? No. So it's Jimmy from Mayfair. Thanks, buddy. Hey, Pat, just wondering if you've ever thought to make a subreddit for the show, because there you might be able to reach a wider audience and get some more feedback for the questions and what have you. Let me know. All right. Well, I will let you know, Jimmy from Mayfair. This has never crossed my mind. I mean, I just started using Reddit a few months ago, and I'm already done with it. Like, I already uninstalled it, and I'm not going to go back because Look, I've been on the internet a long time, across websites, forums, social media platforms, all the things. And Reddit, I have never seen more like they're the dumbest, softest, most sensitive people I've ever seen, like I've ever encountered on the internet. I've never encountered like a worse group of people to interact with online than on Reddit. It blew my mind just how I don't know, like how dense they are and how angry at you for answering a question directly that they get. It was just insane. So no, I won't do that. I say this all the time, but I just going back to how dumb they are. We have more information, more access to information than we've ever had in history. And we're not using we're not using those avenues to make ourselves smarter or to answer our questions or to just like figure out how to deal with people online and in real life. Like we're not figuring that out. We have access to learn how to do these things, learn how to participate in certain settings, and we're not doing it. It's not happening. So yeah, I can't do it. I mean, I scroll the internet for fun stuff and for good-looking people, obviously. And I just don't have the energy to deal with that level of stupidity. I really don't. So, I mean, yes, like, would that give me more of a base to pull from for questions and segments and whatnot? Like, would it give me more options? I suppose. Like, if enough people joined it, and if it, that's the other thing. Like, I have a Facebook group already, and we got a handful of people in there, maybe 2 handfuls. I have a Discord with like 3 other people in it who use it, and I have other things. Like, I have platforms that already exist. I've already made like little communities, and they don't get a ton of traction. Like, relatively speaking, they don't get a lot of traction. Like, I love the people who are in those groups. Like, I love the answers that I get from the message board that I'm on, from the Facebook group, from the Discord if we get any, right? I love the little community that I've made from the Patreon as well. I love the community I have. And like, if I was trying to launch this and make this show and, get 1 million downloads and all these things, like, yeah, sure, I'd make a subreddit, I'd make a whatever. I'd probably have to narrow the scope of the show to get it into more places. But as it stands, that's not something I even considered. Like, not even a little bit, because first of all, I don't know how much work goes in to maintaining a subreddit. They have rules and mods and whatnot, and I don't want to deal with any of that either. So I got my community on my message board and on the Facebook group and on the Discord. Join both of those. Join the Facebook group, join the Discord. We can hang out together. Links to those are in the show notes. It's all at themeltingpat.com at the contact page. I think you know what? Let me check and make sure the Discord is actually on there. Because the Discord, me actually using my Discord is fairly new. And so I want to make sure that we're good. Yeah. So if you click there right now, again, themeltingpat.com, the first little tab under the banner says contact. Click on that. You can send me a message, and then all the ways to get a hold of me, social media and otherwise, are under there. Click those. All right. So to answer your question in a very long-winded way, no, I've never thought about making a subreddit. I understand how that can broaden the community a little bit, but based on the interactions I've had with a lot of people on Reddit, those aren't the kind of people I want responding to things for the show, because it would just be a whole mess of like, well, what about this? No, oh, you don't know about this? And I'm just like, all right. I don't have the energy to do it. I really don't. Like, if you want to make one for the Melting Pat, if you want to make a subreddit for the Melting Pat and send me all the things that they use, that they say, great. You go right ahead and do that. I'm never going to look at it. I can't do another thing. Like, it was even tough to actually start using Reddit because I already have enough social things. Like, I got enough things to scroll and click on. I can't really add another one. And I don't know, man. Speaking of like asking me if I'm going to do things online, I can't download other things. I can't do it. I finally joined TikTok because that's where all my music people went. And that's it, really. I'm done. Like, Reddit's gone. I'm done with Reddit. A couple of times I've been asked to do WhatsApp. I don't know what that is, but I hear it's great if you need that sort of thing. I hear it's great internationally, which is cool. I don't really have the need for that, but also I just can't download another thing. I can't. I got all my social things. I got my Discord. I got all the things I need. I don't have room for more things on my phone or in my brain. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Unless Twitter really just dies and all the music people I've had on the show, they all go somewhere, I'll go there. But otherwise, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't make a subreddit. I can't join WhatsApp or Slack or whatever. I can't be on Reddit. I can't do it. It's too much. It's too goddamn much. I can't start making another profile. I can't start my following all over again, no matter, however modest it might be, relatively speaking. I can't download more things. I just can't do it. I can't. Unless, like I said, all the people whose music I play on the show, if they go somewhere else, let me know where that is, and I'll join them, so I still have my catalog and I still get that refreshed, and I can still play you music on the show. But otherwise, just for my own thing, I can't do it. I'm done. I'm sorry. I know it would help, and I know you're trying to help, and I know that your heart's in the right place, but we're at different sides of this, and I just can't do it. All right, there we go. Thank you for the question. I'm sorry to let you down. But if you want to do it, if you want to make a subreddit and maintain it, whatever that goes into that, go right ahead. But I can't even get enough people to join my Discord to make it worth making more things. So So it's just, like I said, it's just not practical for me to do another thing. Like the only thing that it would be is another website for me to check where 3 people are saying things, if anybody at all. And so it's not really worth it for me to go create another community where other people then have to join and sign up and do all this when I'm not getting the traction to make it worth it, right? I'm not getting the, like, what's the word, engagement to make it worth doing a whole new community on a different platform when I already have 2 or 3 that I love the answer. I love the people that are in it, but like it's not enough to go, hey, why don't we all do it over here? Like it's not a thing. But thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate that. Again, if you want to do it for me, go right ahead. I'll leave you to it. You know, if you're listening enough to ask that question, you know the show well enough to know what I do and don't want. So thanks a lot. Otherwise, join the Discord. All right. All right. Is that fair? I don't know. Anyway. Oh man, we're going to take a break. Let's do one more break. We'll actually do probably 2 more breaks, but let's do a break here. This was a quicker segment. That's fine. And then we'll do on the other side, TV continuity errors. We flipped it around. And if you can believe it, I forgot that I told you before this segment that I was going to do that next. And then I was like, hey, we should do this instead. My brain is mush, but you know that. So you know that just based on me barely answering your question. So there we go. All right. Hope that made sense. Join the Discord. And if you want to make a subreddit, go right ahead. And just let me know what they say. All right? Whoever they are, the morons over there. All right. Well, now, for real, we'll do TV errors on the other side. Sit tight. Okay, now we're going to do TV continuity errors. I know, I said it before, and then I said all the things. So this came up, I played a couple of weeks ago a song called Continuity Errors from Life in Idol, and I made a joke that maybe they're just big Boy Meets World fans, because that show is riddled with continuity problems. And I was like, oh man. And I think, MAG, eventually, our friend MAG said, hey, that'd be a good topic for the show to do, like, which shows have good continuity, good and bad, like just glaring, funny, whatever, continuity problems. And so I'm like, yep, that's a great idea. Let's do that. And so what we're going to do is we'll mention all your things, and we'll also play a clip from the theme song of the show. So does that sound fun? Does that sound like a good thing we're going to do? All right, let's do this. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. That's a dad who is trying to have fun on vacation with his kids or his family, and they're clearly not having fun. We're going to have fun. So there you go. Okay, Pat Leary says, a dumb one, but memorable to me. No way, man. In Cheers, Frasier makes reference to his late father on multiple occasions, but when the spinoff Frasier happened, he lived with his father. That's a big one. That's not a dumb one, Pat. And neither is the Frasier theme song.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling, tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Oh my. And maybe I seem a bit confused. Yeah, maybe, but I got you pegged.
By the way, fun fact about that. So I mentioned several months ago that Cozy TV plays great sitcoms back to back to back. Frasier, Roseanne, and The Nanny right in a row. And so now I can sing the Frasier theme song to my kid and get him to settle down for 10 seconds. I go, over here the blues are calling, tossed salads and scrambled eggs. I can do that, and it's great. So, number one, Frasier's fantastic as a show. I have not seen the new ones yet, but I do love the show. The theme song is great, and it helps with the kids. A little bit of a lullaby for my son. So there you go. That's not a dumb one, though, Pat. That's not dumb. That's an interesting one. Now, I wonder. So I've not seen all of Cheers. I've also not seen any of Cheers in a long time. But I wonder, like, when they were making the character Frasier, when did they know that they were going to spin that off into his own show? Like, when did they realize, hey, this guy's pretty popular, or like, hey, we want somebody to do a spinoff. Why? Hey, Kelsey Grammer, you want to be Frasier somewhere else? You know, when did they realize that before they wrote in all those mentions of his dead dad? Do you think they knew that, or no? All right. Also, don't tell Christian Cage he's got a dead dad. We don't want that. All right. I wonder though, what's the timeline on that? We'd have to get a writer on the show, I guess, and say, hey, did you know this from 35 years ago or whenever the show came out? All right. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Pat. Appreciate that. We actually got a couple for Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince. Brian Amato said, when they replaced the aunt on Fresh Prince without saying a word. And Jimmy said, one that comes to mind is the new Aunt Viv on Fresh Prince looked nothing like the prior one. There we go.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
There's part of the theme song, by the way. Had to look for a couple different versions because, I mean, when the show comes out in the 90s and you go on YouTube and you look for a version of the theme song, a lot of times you're going to get someone recording it off their, like off of VHS, off their TV. And so the quality's not great. So I had to do some digging. It's a great song. You know it, the you know the one. Like you're not going to know. I guess there could be somebody who doesn't know Fresh Prince. If you're young enough, like if you're, let's see, if you were born in, I don't know, 2000, and you don't have any older siblings, and like your parents didn't watch a lot of TV, yeah, there's a chance you don't know what a lot of these popular things are from 30 years ago. There's a chance. So I shouldn't say that so quickly there that, oh, of course everyone's going to know that. Well, maybe not. I think everyone listening to this show will know it. But in case you don't, and in case I can claim fair use later, I then critiqued how the theme song is great. So there we go. I think that's a loophole. So there you go. Thank you both, all of you, for that. I think we got another one who said on fifth. Yeah, it's a good one. And then, so I didn't know, like I watched the Fresh Prince documentary on HBO a couple years ago, and I didn't know the story of why she was replaced. It wasn't like, oh, her contract went out and they decided not to renew. It's like, no, there was like a thing that happened. And so there was a reason why the switch happened, and it was like a more serious thing. So yeah, I guess, I don't know. I mean, you could probably try to find someone who looked kind of like her. I don't know. Or did you write it into the show where then Philip has a new wife? Like, do you do that, or you just hope no one notices? Because I think it's going to come up later. Back at that time, we weren't really watching all these back to back to back. So you go from season 2, you wait 6 months, and the show comes back. Season 3, it's like, hey, wait, is that? And we couldn't really look it up right away. So I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it from, watching TV whenever I want, whenever I have it in front of me, going from season 2 to 3 right away, or whatever season it was, going right back to back and being able to pick out random little things that changed from the year prior because I'm watching it 30 seconds later. So I don't know. Anyway, thanks everyone. Meg says all of the continuity errors in Boy Meets World, there are so many to choose from. There are. And I did ask Meg, because there are a couple different theme songs for this show, which one she wanted me to use. And she said she's partial to season 4. So there you go. That's how that works. That's a good one. It's like they're all in the car, they're driving along, and they're looking up, and all the other characters show up in like weird little dream bubbles or whatever. It's weird. I'm sure when I get to that point in the podcast, the rewatch podcast, Pod Meets World, I'm sure when I get there, they're gonna have stuff to say about that. But I'm not there yet. I'm behind. But yeah, Boy Meets World is full of those. Like, their ages change, like the grades they're in, they change. How far apart Corey and Eric are in age, that changes to fit some stories. Sean had a sister in the first episode, never heard again. Although I do remember them talking about that on the show, or maybe in an interview, where that was supposed to be a third friend. Like, there was supposed to be a third friend in that episode, or in a couple. They tried it for several episodes in season 1 to make like a third friend. And so those lines were supposed to be for the third friend. And then they were like, no, we didn't bring that kid back. So Sean, you get those lines. And so now he's got a sister who doesn't actually exist. And then like later, he's got a brother from the trailer park, or a half brother. And then when, what's his name? Matthew Lawrence comes to the show as Sean's half brother. The other guy's never mentioned again. There are 2 different Morgans. They replaced the little sister, randomly throughout the season. In season 3 or 4, they brought home, oh, they addressed it, which was funny. Like, you were in timeout. It's the longest timeout ever. I've been in my room. And so that's fun. They did a second character of the bully. Harley Kiner was the bully, played by Danny McNulty. I learned from the podcast, he had an incident, a medical thing, So he didn't come back to the show for a little while. He came back one more time. But then, like, that week, they brought in another actor to play his character and didn't change the name. It was really weird. They retconned Corey and Topanga's friendship, relationship several times. Like, no, we met here. No, we met over here. Oh, we've been friends forever. But then they first meet him and they're like, we don't know each other. It's just the things that they just let slide seemed very weird. And again, everybody, what grade everybody's in, that just, a lot of it just didn't make sense. Just didn't make sense. I had to move my chair a little bit. I set my chair. Now I'm, so it doesn't rock back and forth. Maybe that'll cut down on some noise. Sorry. My bad. I'm trying to be comfortable here. But yeah, I'm sure there are more. I'm sure as I go along with my rewatch, like I said, I'm in the beginning of season 3. I'm sure I'll find more continuity errors from the show. And that's not to take anything away from how good how entertaining the show is, right? It's just continuity was never was clearly not a priority for the writers' room in Boy Meets World. So there you go. Thank you, Meg, for that. Amy brought up New Girl, and I've never seen the show. I've seen one episode from whatever season my friend Charlie Saxton was in it, so I watched that one, having no clue who anybody was in the show, in the universe. Hold on, let's do the theme. Amy says New Girl.
Don't let the sunshine fall from the sky. Just find the sunshine in your own eyes.
That's a great theme. I like that a lot. Is that, what's her name? The hell's her name? Zoe Deschanel? I don't know how to read out loud. Is that her singing the song? Because she can sing, right? Like she's an actual singer person? No? Okay. Anyway, Amy says, the first episode of New Girl to the second episode when Coach leaves and Winston shows up, and that meant nothing to me. So I said, Amy, hey, can you explain that? Because I've never seen the show. And she said the pilot, it was like all the roommates meeting the main character for the first time. And then the second episode, suddenly the one roommate was gone and replaced by a new character / roommate completely out of context, and they barely addressed it until later seasons. I think the original actor, Damon Wayans, was on another sitcom at the time and couldn't do both, and then they brought him back in later seasons. So there you go. I do think it's funny, and that has happened. We got a couple on this list. It does happen where they will address it later, but it's funny, which is funny, but it's also funnier when they don't. Right? You just bring somebody in, looks nothing like this other person, or like, hey, we got a new roommate now, and it's just never addressed. I think that's funny. Actually, I was thinking about this when Alvaro was on the show in, last year or beginning of this year, end of last year, I forget. We talked about Venture Brothers, and he said, oh, like Mystery of the whatever, Act 2, and they do like, oh, previously this, and it's like never explained that there's never a part 1, and they never address it again. Like, that's just funny. That's a cartoon, though. Maybe a little different. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Or do we have a cartoon on this list? I don't think so. Anyway, thank you, Amy, for the explanation, because I don't know what that show is. Don't know. Speaking of shows I don't know, Kyle says Game of Thrones. Let's do that. He says anytime, and that theme is epic, by the way. Maybe should I watch that show? No, I have no interest. The theme is great though. That is an epic theme song. He says anytime in Game of Thrones when someone is talking to a giant crowd of people from way up high in their normal voice, and the people way in the back can magically hear what's going on. That's good. That's a good point. Also, the Starbucks cup disappearing abruptly means Westeros didn't actually have a Starbucks, and I can't accept that. Well, there you go. There you go. I don't know anything about Westeros. Did I even say that right? I have no idea. But they should have a Starbucks, goddammit, because somebody had a cup there. So somebody on the way to the place saw a Starbucks and didn't share. You jerks. There you go. There's my take on Game of Thrones. Never seen the show. Don't care. MAG, there we go. He brought up Friends originally, and that's what kind of brought this topic on. So he says, I know I brought up Friends, and like Rachel's last name, the spelling, Ross's birthday, things like that. But one of the most glaring ones in this department is the X-Files in Season 5's Travelers. It's a flashback episode. Mulder is shown wearing a wedding band, suggesting the character was married at one point in time. But it's never discussed or addressed in the entire series, despite the pilot taking place not too long after these events. That's fun. You know what else is fun? The X-Files theme song. It's so good. That show is so good. There we go. That's how we avoid getting sued, is we talk about how great the music is. We did that already. But anyway, we got a bunch more here. We're gonna do it all over again. Yeah, that's weird that they didn't mention. Maybe it's a sore spot. Maybe it's something terrible happened. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he just forgot. Maybe he's in witness protection and they forgot to take the ring off. Maybe that's his reminder that he had a former life somewhere. No, that's dumb. Anyway, can you tell I've not seen X-Files in 20 years? Thanks, buddy. All right, Drave says the character David from Roseanne was Kevin on his first appearance. That is true. There we go. There's our theme song. And didn't they address it later too? Like, didn't Roseanne, like seasons later, go like, his name's not even David. She just made that up. That seems like something that happened, right? Is that a real thing that happened where Darlene just made up a name to show that she could do that? Like, just that she had that much power over him that she could just give him a new name. And then I think in the reboot, he was still David, right? So maybe I like to think that, well, one, it was probably a goof, or like they didn't think he'd come back or whatever. Or here's what I like to think, is that she kept calling him David for so long that he just decided to go change his name to David. Like, Kevin is gone, David is here now. And he got so wrapped up in that identity of being David that he just changed it. He just changed his name. I like to think that. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds fun. Thank you, Drave. All right, Vito. Man, you've been on the show indirectly, but that means you've heard the show. And I got to tell you, man, why are you making me read all this? Why are you doing this, man? Why are you doing this? Let's do the good part first. He says, Golden Girls.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
He says it's his girlfriend's comfort show, so I've binged enough of it to pick up that it's rife with continuity errors all over the place with basically every character. And Vito did not disappoint in sharing all these. So Blanche, her middle name changes in the middle of the series. Her daughter changed actresses, and they picked an actress who didn't even come close to resembling the one who left. I love that. I love it. That's so funny. Rose referring to her parents as the Nylans, despite that being her married name. And in other episodes, she mentions not even knowing her parents. But I feel like you could chalk that up to Rose being a dunce, right? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that it's funny enough to include. Dorothy, her kids fluctuating in age, including being too young, given the backstory that she got knocked up in high school. Her high school prom was mentioned multiple times, and there's like 4 separate stories about her attending with different people. Well, Vito, what if she went to 4 different proms? Anybody ever think about that? No? All right. No? Okay. And Sophia, maybe the most annoying, because her catchphrase is, one of her catchphrases she says a million times is, picture it, Sicily, 1922. And yet, randomly, one time she said she left Sicily and moved to the U.S. in 1920. So there you go. That's a lot. That's a lot. And he added, I'm sure there are other 80s shows that are similarly all over the place, because the writers at the time likely never imagined a world where people would be able to just see every season of a series back to back to back. There you go. That was a lot of reading. Shame on you, Vito. How dare you? That's fine. It's fine. Was it fine? You let me know. That's a good example, though. A lot of good examples where, they just kind of, I feel like they're just like, it'll be fine. Who's going to notice? And nerds will notice. And, 30 years later, some guy will talk about it on a podcast, and it'll be fun. Destor says, I'm doing a rewatch of The Sopranos, and I did notice one yesterday. Hold on. Theme song.
The world turned upside down.
Widely regarded, by the way, as one of the best shows ever. I've never seen one episode, but people love that song. I enjoyed it as well. Anyway, episode 608, AJ has a haircut, and the next scene, his hair is still long. It's a minor issue, but it was odd I came across one after seeing you post this. Well, yeah, that's a fun one, too. That's a weird one. Like, it's funny to be like, hey, your hair's a different length. Because I would feel like, I would assume that would be a big issue on set of like, hey, your hair has to be this, because like scenes get shot out of order, episodes get shot out of order. That happens, right? But I feel like there should be someone who should say, hey, you had short hair in this scene from, Tuesday in the show, and then it's still Tuesday when we're doing the shoot the next day. Like we're shooting for the same day in the realm of the show, and now you look different. And that nobody caught it is pretty funny to me. But yeah, that's interesting. Not the first time, I'm sure, or last, that's going to happen. But that is very serendipitous that you came across that after you saw me post. Thanks, buddy. Thank you very much. We got a couple of... Actually, that thread turned into... Not everyone realized that the Goldbergs went on for 10 seasons. And so I realized that... And so, yeah, a lot of people commented the Goldbergs is set in 1980-something, and it really jumps around with the timeline as far as cultural events go. So, yeah, that's a good excuse as any to play the Goldbergs theme song.
I'm twisted up inside, but nonetheless I feel the need to say I don't know the future, but the past keeps getting clearer every day.
That is a good one. That show went through some changes. Not all of them good, but we're finishing it up now, and seasons 9 and 10 are kind of, But overall, we have enjoyed that show for the most part over the last 10 years. It's crazy that we're on 10 years. Man, good show overall. For the most part, though, really good show. Really fun. And the one that I noticed, or that I wrote down, I wrote down Boy Meets World, but then we attributed that to Meg. And so we'll wrap with this one. If I missed you, I'm sorry. We'll get back to you at some point. Just let me know. Last Man Standing actually did this 3 times. So they did it after season 1. They replaced one of the daughters with a different actor. And it was actually funny. They addressed it in the show where like the grandfather answers the door or something, and the new daughter is at the door, and the grandfather goes, "Oh, you look like a totally different person." I'm like, that's great. Like, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. You look different, when it was a different person. And then whatever the season that they moved to Fox, because they were on ABC for 5 or 6 years, and then went to Fox for 2 or 3 more. And they changed another daughter actor, and then the kid was like young at first, and then they aged him up to be like 12 in the new run of the show. Those are the 3 that I can remember right now for the show. That was a really good show too. I love sitcoms, and it's a little quick bumper of a theme song, but I think a good way to wrap as any. So there you go. That's your TV continuity error discussion for today. Another fun one to put together. Yeah, if I missed any, my bad. Again, I finalized this on Wednesday and then, dropped the ball looking for new stuff. So if I missed your show, your error, I should say, you let me know, and I will do my best to come back around to it next week or the week after, and we'll do that. Next week's Halloween, so we'll probably do a themed show for that. I think we'll ask what your favorite horror movie is, and we'll play a bit of the score. That sound fun? That sounds fun, right? Maybe we'll do also review another heist episode for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We might do that. But anyway, there we go. Thank you, MAG, for the recommendation. Thank you, everyone, for weighing in TV continuity errors. That was a lot of fun. So we'll do sports on the other side. So if you hate sports, it's time to go. I love you. Thank you. For everybody else, we're back in a bit. All right, here we go. If you don't like sports, it's time to go, because that's all we have. It's all we have left. Sports, and then the end of the show. And then that's it. All right? So if you hate sports, turn back now. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your time. And let's do this. We'll start with, where are we? The LA Olympics in 2028. I'd love to go. That'd be great. If we could do that, if we could make it happen, we got 5 years, 4.5. We could do that, right? I just want to go and see like one thing. Like if we go to LA anyway in that year, I just want to go and see one Olympic thing. I think that'd be awesome. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is they have approved, the IOC has approved to add 5 new sports to the Olympiad, the curriculum. That's not the right word. So we got baseball and softball, cricket, flag football, lacrosse, and squash. So let me let you know right off the bat. So the Summer Olympics happen in August, and there is no chance that Major League Baseball will let their players go to the Olympics because it's in the summer, and that's when baseball makes their money because that's when everybody's off school and people can take vacation from work and go to games. So there's no way that they're going to stop the sport for 3 weeks and let everybody, let their guys go, let their people go over and play in the Olympics. There's no chance. No chance at all. Look, enough people complained about the World Baseball Classic, how guys are hurt or whatever. So enough people worried about, whined about that. There is no, and that's before the season starts. There's no chance they're stopping in August to send their players over to stop the season. There's no way it's going to happen. So you get some amateur guys, some college kids probably, and a lot of people get to live out a dream. So good for them. Go get them. I don't know enough about cricket or lacrosse or squash. I don't even know what squash is. Let's see. What is it? Not squash soup. It's a racket sport played by 2 players or 4 for doubles in a 4-walled court with a small, hollow rubber ball. So there you go. So I know what this is. Okay. So it's like life-size table tennis, except probably not like that at all. Anyway, squash is in the Olympics for 2028. Lacrosse. Well, I have watched some lacrosse, and that is some wild stuff. So Olympic lacrosse, I am tongue-tied today, is probably going to be awesome. I also am very interested to see who goes over for flag football. Like, I have to imagine you're not getting NFL players, even though it's before the season. Like, it's before, well, it's actually during training camp, right? It's August. So that's probably, if not the beginning of the preseason, like right leading up to it, right? So, man, I find it, let me just say, if you are holding out hope to see NFL players in the Olympics, I would not do that because I don't see it happening. But you're probably going to get guys who don't make the roster are going to go over. And so guys who are good, like you're not going to see scrubs, I don't think. Like it's going to be collegiate guys or ladies. Are they doing co-ed? I have no idea. And probably guys from like the XFL and the USFL because they start after the NFL ends. And so, well, the USFL does. I don't know about the XFL. But you might see people there, and they're all talented, right? And so you might see those people doing flag football. Other than that, I don't know. I have to imagine the NFL probably won't send people over. Or maybe like, I don't know, they let somebody, they unofficially cut somebody to let them go and then sign them to the practice squad when they come back. Would that be a thing? Is that you think that's an agreement that they made with the Players Association? I don't know. Anyway, baseball and softball, cricket, flag football, lacrosse, and squash added to the Olympics for 2028. So there you go. Do you think we could be on a flag football team for the Olympics? I've not played flag football since college, but can we try? Where can we try out? Can we make the Olympics as flag footballers? How do we do that? Let's find out together. Let's play some flag football at the Olympics. God damn it, we're gonna do this because I don't want to learn how to play squash. So let's do flag football because cricket is probably, you got to be good at something for that. And flag football, you can just figure it out on the fly. I don't know. That's dismissive of everybody who's good at flag football, but let's do that. All right, there you go. Olympics update for you for the summer 2028. If you want to go, let me know. We'll organize a trip. I was going to say let's organize a bus, but that's a long ass bus ride. So there you go. All right, baseball playoffs as well. Playoffs happening now. Again, we are. Well, not right now. It's Thursday afternoon, but I will not have time tomorrow to come in and add the baseball. So we're going to do it as we sit here Thursday. The Rangers are up on the Astros 2-1, and the Phillies are up 2-0 on the Diamondbacks. Rangers and Astros, I think, play again tonight. Phillies and Diamondbacks pick up their series tonight as well in Arizona, and the Rangers-Astros series is in Arlington, Texas. So the Rangers are at home, and the Phillies on the road to try to wrap it up and go back to the World Series for the second year in a row. So, who do you like? Who do you like in this in these playoffs? I'm saying, give me the Phils, give me the Rangers to right the ship, and bounce the Astros. That'd be good, right? Right, perfect. It'd be ideal for me as a Phillies fan if the series did not come back to Philadelphia, because it's 3 in a row in Arizona, and for the series to come back to Philly, the Diamondbacks will have to win 2 of those, and so I don't know, man. That's a big swing if the Diamondbacks bring the series back here. So let's hope that doesn't happen and the Phillies wrap it up in Arizona, and let's hope the Rangers can get it together and knock out the Astros so we get a Phillies-Rangers World Series, a rematch of the first series of the year, and hopefully it goes better for the Phillies than that did in April. So there we go. That's your baseball. Go who you like, unless you like the Diamondbacks. Sorry. I'm biased, obviously, or unless you like the Astros, because I'm tired of hearing about how I should feel bad for those guys for getting booed. So there you go. Go Phils, go Rangers, baseball man. And there we go. That's all I have to tell you as far as sports goes and other stuff. So let us turn it over. Like I said, the update's in my inbox. I've not heard it yet. We'll do that tomorrow. But everybody, well, no, patrons probably won't hear it. But anyway, let's turn it over. For the first time in the 2023-24 season, let's hear what's going on with the Fly Guys. Captain, the floor, it's yours. Take it away.
Hey, Flyers fans. I know when you hear that voice, you're thinking winter, snow, ice, and the smash on the boards of Flyers hockey, baby. Flyers hockey is back for the 2023-2024 season. So, guys, it is Mark. I am back with the Flyers. Update! Yeah! Woo-hoo! Guys, I am so excited to be back talking Flyers hockey with you. The Flyers went through a lot of changes in this offseason. You might have noticed that they fired their general manager, brought on Danny Briere. They fired their president of hockey operations. They brought on Keith Jones. The Flyers keeping Tortorella to man the ship, really keep things going. We shall see what happens with this season. But I know they have a lot of young players. They have a lot of team members that are ready to take it to the next level. Now, I am very excited, but I want to temper my expectations because the Flyers, their leadership have said themselves, they are really trying to go ahead and they're really looking at a rebuild here. So again, as excited as I am, we don't want to get our hopes too high. Yet, maybe some good things will happen. But let's take a look at our first recap of the season. So the Flyers really are starting off well. They started the season with a 4-2 win on Thursday in Columbus against the Blue Jackets. Followed it up with a swing over to Ottawa. Lost that game on Saturday 5-2, but came back home. Home opener won 2-0. Carter Hart with the shutout against Vancouver. Looking ahead, the Flyers are going to take on the Oilers Thursday. They're going to be heading on the road. They're going to take on Dallas Saturday, and then they're going to finish it up with Vegas on Tuesday. So the Flyers have quite the grind at the beginning of this season, but the young players are feisty. They're looking good. We have Cam Atkinson back. We have Sean Couturier back. Guys that were out for all of last season. I mean, this is exciting, but yet again, I have to say, have to temper expectations. We shall see what happens. But right now, I'm excited, and I know you're excited too. So guys, that's it for me here inside the Melting Pat on Next Level Radio.
And there you have it. Thank you, my friend. We all know where we are. I don't need to do that because he did it. He did it. The Melting Pat, Next Level Radio, because I had never told him that we changed the thing, and it's fine. But there you go. I hit the desk for some reason. I don't know how that happened. But thank you, Captain, for that. Hope everything is well on your end and with the Flyers as well. As also, very many more points. Too much points. What is happening? All right, we got to go. We're done. We made it. We've worn out our welcome, and now you see how quiet it is all alone. There, that's a deep cut. If anybody knows what that's from, by the way, respond in the comments if you know what song that's from, and I'll send you a sticker. All right? And maybe you can come on the show. All right, let me know. All right, that's all. We're good. we're good to go. My thanks to Lost in a Name. My thanks to Danny Schmitz. My thanks to everybody for weighing in on the TV continuity errors. That was so much fun. My thanks to my kid up there making noise. My thanks to the captain for the Flyers update. And my thanks to all of you. Well, we made him upset. We really made him upset up there. All right, we're going to go. Jeez, we're done. No G-Love today, but check them out. Philadelphonic.com and themeltingpat.com for all of my things. You know the drill. The network tab's up there. Go check out all of our shows and do the things over there. All right? All right, we're going to go. We're going to go. I thought I was going to have to step in there. I think we're okay. We're going to go. Bye. I love you. I'll miss you. I'll talk to you next time. This has been an 8 Boiling production. Till next time, have fun. Be safe. Thank a veteran. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Get vaccinated and boosted when you can. And of course, don't do anything I wouldn't do. You've been inside the Melting Pat on the Next Level Network. Go crap open a cold one.